Hey guys, welcome back. We're going to be doing some more testing with this Dakota mod that I have. It was a 4x4 mod, so I can't really get it as low as the ones I've had in my personal life. But I have three versions here. We have this one, which is just a base, 5.9. It's not really an RT, but I guess we're going to say it's an RT. And I put the 5-speed in it, so it'd be like the 5-speed out of the 5.2. That's an option that a lot of guys were doing. Because it was still stock motor, we're just going to roll with the 5.2 transmission in it. And then we have this black extended cab, which has the same motor in it, and I added a turbo to it, say like an eBay turbo or something. So I bumped it up to 485 horsepower, 615 torque, and also have a 200 shot of nitrous on it, which bumps it up to 683 horsepower, 1364 foot-pounds of torque. But if you look at the graph on the top right, all that torque is just from the instant hit of the nitrous. That's the way nitrous works. Just when it first hits, it's just so much power coming in. And then we have this build, which is a full-on drag build. I do have wheelie bars on it. With the motor and turbo, it's at 1800 horsepower, 2000 torque. And then with the 200 shot of nitrous, it bumps us up to 2000 horsepower, 2266 foot-pounds of torque. So yes, the wheelie bars are needed. I will have to play with this one a little bit to get it to launch correctly. It does like to break the rear end out of it. Like I said, this is a 4x4 mod. It's not meant to do this, but I just love the Dakota that much that I have to do it, And then I didn't go over the power rating of the first one. It's at 240 and 307. Factory was like 255 and 345, so it's roughly right there at it. I have tested all three of these previously, and this one is about on par where it should be at from the factory. I had an extended cab that I ran factory, and it ran 15 seconds flat, 15.1 mostly. So with the 5-speed change in this one and being a regular cab versus the extended cab, it definitely runs just a little bit faster, but not too much. But we're still going to pull it out and play with it. I did put a steering angle kit on this one, so it would be fun to build a nice little drift truck out of this one. But for now, we're just going to roll with it at the stock power and the gears and the 5-speed. So let's get into the testing and let's see what these three Dakotas like to run. I also have a timer on the left side. The track will tell me what the quarter-mile time is, but with that on the left side there, we'll get a 60-foot time and a 1/8 mile time along with the quarter-mile. So let's get started with this, and we're going to pull this one up to the line and let's get some testing done. First up is the stock 5.9 with the 5-speed, and you'll see it's really bouncy because it's already pretty much sitting on the rear end is actually sitting on the frame because it is a 4x4 mod. I can't get it to get any lower. I might reach out to some guys and see if they can't put it on the vanilla D series frame, and then I'll be able to C-notch it, get it dropped down to a much lower level. Basically, I liked it because it is the Dakota, and that's really the only place you can get it as of right now until somebody else makes another one. So let's get some testing done. Heat the tires up a little bit. Get it up to the line. Ease it up to get it staged. Staging a little deep. You see how it bounced a lot coming off the line is because of the rear end is dropped on the frame, and I'm basically riding with no suspension. And there we have 15.1, just like I mentioned earlier. And eighth of mile time, 9.7. I know I was in the lower nines. You know, these trucks do make a lot of torque, and with 392 gears, they do like to come off the line really well. You know, factory, that's what I used to run factory. The last one I had more mods to it, so I'm sure it ran quite a bit lower than that. Give it one more test. Sit up to the line. Hopping at the beginning, so that's taking away a lot of time. .1 again. I did get 14.8 out of it earlier, but I do believe because the way this truck is set up with the rear suspension, it's just going to be hard to get it off the line normally. I will be playing with this mod, you know, quite a bit, so I will have plenty of different versions of this truck. There is also a quad cab version with 4 doors. Like I said, I got the steering kit on there, so with some more power, should definitely be ready to drift. I mean, she's still fun now, but just runs out of power. Let's pull out shut this thing down. And so this one does have some Corleone rims on it. I believe they was 24s, maybe 26s. I was going to put the 4 Giottos on there, but I didn't want to take it that far. And it does have drag radials in the back, and this one is an automatic. So we'll do one run with just the turbo, and then we'll add the 200 shot and see what she runs. The interior view on these trucks is not the normal Dodge interior. So that'd be something nice to see if I could get somebody to redo this mod, you know, make a new one, it'd be nice. But for now, it serves its purpose. Let's heat up the tires and take it for a spin down the track. All you see is pushing them front tires. It did not. I forgot that it has the drag radials on it. So we'll hit the trans brake and see if that helps. Still too much traction. This truck definitely needs some gears in it. You see on the timer on the left is a little bit slower than what the track timer says. The track timer says 11.8. The app over there says 11.9. It says it ran a 7.6 8 mile and a 1.8 60 foot, which is pretty good. A lot too. So in the future builds, I'll give it a little bit of suspension so we can eliminate some of that hopping. So this Armor Nitrous, there is no visible purge with this vehicle. Let's see if we can get some burnout. We can get a little bit out of it. Get it up to the line and get on the trans brake. 127. As you can see on the app, it says 10.5 at 127. We ran the 8th mile at 6.6 at 103. Dropped down to a 1.5 60 foot time. The drag radials on these big rims, they help out a lot, so I'm going to be building some dunk builds. See what she does on the street. So yeah, it would still get down pretty good on the street if you was doing some no prep racing with some street builds. Still do some donuts with the drag radios on it. So let's park this one, pull out the drag truck. Like I said, this one is going to be a little tricky to get it off the line without breaking the rear end. I would like to see low 8-second times. Definitely love to see some 7-second times. an automatic as well. Hopefully get it to not bounce so much. .7 on the board, 8.9 on the app at 166 miles per hour. This says it did a 1.8 60-foot time, so that's slower than the other ones. I didn't launch it as hard, so maybe I'll just go ahead and run one more run without the nitrous, and I'll try to launch it a little bit harder, a little bit higher RPMs, and then we'll run a nitrous run. This one is not going to be as good on the street. It'll take some more tuning. Got the 1.3 60-foot time, 5.4 in the eighth of a mile at 133. We'll go ahead and see how it launches on the street. Not too bad. 1.6 60-foot. On the app on the left side, you can see the left side is what you run the last pass, and then on the right side would be your best of each run. And engage the nitrous on this pass and hope that it doesn't break. Trying to get this body to calm down a little bit before we get staged up. Make sure I'm down in the first gear. That time 5.2 in the eighth of a mile, 1.3 again on the 60-foot. I think we'll try to launch it just a little bit harder this time. If I leave it in drive, it seems like it likes to hit the rev limiter and doesn't want to shift. Very typical of a Dodge transmission. I'm not sure it's a Dodge transmission. I think I just put a it's it's a drag transmission, but I can't remember what the actual transmission name is. I'm sure it's from one of the drag mods that I have. This time I'm gonna try to launch just a little bit harder. I think we're gonna try to go for that 7. .9 on the board, 8.0 on the app. We got a 1.256 60 foot and a 5.1 eighth of a mile at 137 miles per hour. We trapped 170 in the quarter. They'd be kicking us out. We don't have a parachute. Let's try to get the app to say it went down to the 7s. I'm really skating on breaking the rear end. It will do it. This is a very fun truck to build. Sure, if I do an engine swap, use a different engine, I'm sure I can get it down into the low 7s along with some other drag builds. I think we'll get a outside view on this one. .9 on the board again, 8.0 on the app. We only got a 1.3 60 foot that time. And our eighth of a mile was down to a 5.2. See, had somebody pull up and they wanted a little 50 roll. Leaving rubber down. I really want to launch this thing hard, but I know it's going to break the rear end on it. Get the body to settle, and there it goes. Broke the rear end, messed the body up. It hit so hard. I really want to get that 7.9 on the app. Try not to warm the tires up as much, and maybe we can lose a little bit of traction and help save that rear end. She gets real loose loose on the top end. We only got an 8.1 on the app. Let's go ahead and just skip down here. Give it one more run, and then we're going to call it good. The body calm down. On the app. Did hit a best 60 foot of 1.252 and an eighth of a mile at 5.15. I should have switched that around. Do that now. Let's sit right here. Set that to the home position. You hear how loud it does rev up on the trans brake. So I'm trying not to get up that high because it will break the rear end. Another 8.0. So I think that should conclude the test. There's plenty more tuning in this. This is the first build of the drag Dakota. I will be getting some more time behind the seat of it, some more tuning. I might have to do some more suspension tuning on it. And that black piece right there coming out of the fender, that's just because of that engine style. That's like the intake box. I'm not sure why that protrudes out. And with this turbo kit, it just puts that intake tube on it. And it just sticks out for some reason. The other two trucks doesn't have it. But yes, this is the Dakota drag truck. Here's the interior. It does have a cage. I did put the cage in it with the race seats. As you can see, that shifter is for four-wheel drive, but I don't have four-wheel drive in it. Just nothing else to put there. There was no console for it. Did put the navigation in it, and it has a basic radio, and it has digital dash. I have another vehicle, so I'm not sure who did the mod. It was Nick's mod, actually. It's Nick's Dakota. He has a few other four-wheel drive trucks I will be using later on. I do have a four-wheel drive build of this truck, but for now I've just been playing with it as a two-wheel drive version. Hopefully we'll get somebody to update this mod and be able to get a full two-wheel drive setup out of it that I could lower and get more suspension tuning out of it. Let's go with one more street launch. I'll have it a little bit lower. Yeah, she gets really loose at the top end. And that's the crash physics of it. That's how it tears apart when you crash it. yeah, that's going to conclude this episode with the Dodge Dakota. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.